The great question is, how can we win America's peace?
The tragedy of the death of a son on a distant battlefield has been visited upon thousands of our homes.
Vietnam is also the scene of a powerful aggression that is spurred by an appetite for conquest. It is the arena where communist expansionism is most aggressively at work in the world today, where it is crossing international frontiers in violation of international agreements, where it is killing and kidnapping, where it is ruthlessly attempting to bend free people to its will.
And our own safety, our own security, depends upon our willingness to do what it takes to defend this nation and uphold the values that we stand for. Timeless ideas that will endure long after those who offer only hate and destruction have been vanquished from the earth.
I'm speaking to you today from the Treaty Room of the White House, a place where American presidents have worked for peace. We're a peaceful nation.
May I make this one personal observation? I have entered upon a serious political undertaking. Among the reasons which led me to take that step, one consideration that weighed heavily upon me was the argument of my friends that the responsibilities entrusted to me through the last 10 critical years and the knowledge derived from that experience would enable me to serve our country effectively in the cause of peace.
What choices do we have if we are to end the war? What are the prospects for peace?
Here, buddy, it's all yours.
Wow, look at that. Hey, what about me?
Try this one, partner. Looks like real. Sounds like real.
They sure do.
The Sound of Power military rifle and Western rifle.
America is fulfilling our destiny as peacemaker, but it is peace through strength. We are stronger now than ever before.
But the key to all that we have done is really our own security. At times of crisis, before asking Americans to fight and die to resist aggression in a foreign land, every American president has finally had to answer this question: is the aggression a threat not only to the immediate victim, but to the United States of America and to the peace and security of the entire world, of which we in America are a very vital part?
Our goal is not the conquest of Iraq. It is the liberation of Kuwait. It is my hope that somehow the Iraqi people can, even now, convince their dictator that he must lay down his arms, leave Kuwait, and let Iraq itself rejoin the family of peace-loving nations.
In this century, with catastrophic results, and we act to stand united with our allies for peace. By acting now, we are upholding our values, protecting our interests, and advancing the cause of peace.
Years and the knowledge derived from that experience would enable me to serve our country effectively in the cause of peace.
As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it, now or ever.
Each gun makes lots of battle sounds. Just press the trigger and listen.
Let us all understand that the question before us is not whether some Americans are for peace and some Americans are against peace. The question at issue is not whether Johnson's war becomes Nixon's war.
Yet as we have learned so suddenly and so tragically, there can be no peace in a world of sudden terror.
In this century with catastrophic results, and we act to stand united with our allies for peace. By acting now, we are upholding our values, protecting our interests, and advancing the cause of peace.
We cherish freedom, yes. We cherish self-determination for all people, yes. We abhor the political murder of any state by another, and the bodily murder of any people by gangsters of whatever ideology. And for 27 years, since the days of Lend-Lease, we have sought to strengthen free people against domination by aggressive foreign powers.
I occupy my present position in this political race primarily because I believe that peace may well be at stake.
In the face of today's new threat, the only way to pursue peace is to pursue those who threaten it. We did not ask for this mission, but we will fulfill it.
It's like a gun battle over there. Is it real? Looks like real. Hey, it sounds like real.
Right. Every shot, every battle sound was from the Sound of Power Military and Western Rifles by Marx.
The great question is, how can we win America's peace?
Much of Saddam's artillery and tanks will be destroyed. Our operations are designed to best protect the lives of all the coalition forces by targeting Saddam's vast military arsenal.
I'm speaking to you today from the treaty room of the White House, a place where American presidents have worked for peace. We're a peaceful nation.
Well, because he's never seen sanctions like the ones I promised will be imposed if he moves, number one. Number two, we're in a situation where Vladimir Putin is about to, we've had very frank discussions, Vladimir Putin and I, and the idea that NATO is not going to be united, I don't buy. I've spoken to every major NATO leader. We've had the NATO-Russian summit. We've had the OSCE has met, etc. And so I think what you're going to see is that Russia will be held accountable if it invades. And it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc. But if they actually do what they're capable of doing with the force amassed on the border, it is going to be a disaster for Russia if they further invade Ukraine, and that our allies and partners are ready to impose severe cost and significant harm on Russia and the Russian economy. And, you know, we're going to fortify our NATO allies. I told them on the eastern flank, if in fact he does invade, I've already shipped over $600 million worth of sophisticated equipment, defensive equipment, to the Ukrainians. The cost of going into Ukraine in terms of physical loss of life for the Russians, they'll be able to prevail over time, but it's going to be heavy. It's going to be real. It's going to be consequential. In addition to that, Putin has a stark choice. Either de-escalation or diplomacy, a confrontation of the consequences.